Hey guys, it's Victoria with Nutrition by Victoria, and in this video I'm going to talk about my top tips for weight loss, specifically healthy weight loss, where we're not sacrificing our health in order to lose weight. So what is healthy weight loss? Healthy weight loss is a condition that occurs within the body basically when it's healthy. So really what we are going for in terms of promoting weight loss from our body being excess fat, fluid, and toxin release from our system is we're creating a foundation of health for that to happen. Because when our system is functioning efficiently, because we're healthy, and our metabolism is high, because everything's functioning efficiently, it allows for a situation where we're able to release excess weight that we don't need to have within our body, which is usually just combinations of excess fat, fluid, and toxins that have accumulated from previous inadequate diet and lifestyle habits. So that's just a little bit about weight loss. And essentially what creates weight loss in the body is when we're doing all of these really good things through our diet and through our lifestyle, which I'm going to talk about in my tips, and we're pretty much minimizing or completely eliminating the best we can any of the things that promote excess weight on the body to begin with. So let's get into the tips. So tip number 1, make sure you're drinking enough water. The adult human is going to require about 1 liter of water per 50 pounds of body weight. I drink about 3 liters plus of water per day, and that also depends on how much activity you're doing, as well as the temperature outside. Dry, hot climates and doing a lot of physical activity are going to require you to drink more water. Staying hydrated in general is going to keep your body functioning efficiently and healthily so that you're able to eliminate excess waste. So that's one of the water helps to dilute any of the excess toxins or pollution that is within our body, and then we eliminate it out through our urine. So water serves a big role in the elimination and detoxification of our body, as well as keeping our digestive tract running smoothly and keeping our cells fully hydrated so they can function optimally. So, and there's a lot of things that we do or people can do that cause dehydration, and those are the things you want to minimize, like stimulant use, caffeine use, nicotine use, any recreational drug use is going to cause dehydration. Following a high protein, high fat, high salt diet is going to promote fluid retention within the system, as well as dehydration, especially a high fat, high protein diet. It causes what's known as ketosis, where it forces water to be eliminated from the system in order to dilute the toxins that are produced from a diet like that. So those are just some of the things that you'll want to minimize. So tip number 2, follow a high carb, low fat, calorie and nutrient sufficient, low sodium, plant-based vegan diet. Now I'll break that down. The significance of a high carb diet is that you're getting the majority of your calories from carbohydrate foods, mainly sweet fruits and starches like potatoes, rice, corn. These foods help to provide the fuel for our system. And what's significant about carbohydrates is that they convert the easiest of the macronutrients compared to fat or protein to glucose, which is our primary fuel for our cells. So we need to be taking in ample amounts of carbohydrate calories in order to fulfill our fuel needs. And what does fuel do for our body? It allows us to create energy. All of the cells within our system require fuel in order to function efficiently. So we need to be providing the body with enough fuel in order to do that and keep the metabolism high and allow for the body to effectively, safely, and efficiently burn fat and eliminate it from our body. So the counter to that is keeping the diet low in fat and protein. Fat and protein are very large macronutrients that can be converted into fuel, but it's a very energy inefficient and taxing process, meaning that our body doesn't prefer to do it. And actually taking in excess amounts of fat and protein over what our body needs are, which for both of those is very small, means that we're building up the system with excess fat and protein deposits. So we're adding to our body fat, we're adding to our tissues excess fat and protein that adds weight to the system. So we want to keep those macronutrients low. So we're looking at, ideally, if you're going for weight loss, a 95-5 macronutrient ratio of carbohydrates to fat to protein. So out of all the calories that you're consuming on a daily basis, you'll want to stick to a 95-5 ratio if you're going for excess weight release from the body. You can eat a little bit, you can play around with those ratios a little bit, but in my experience, I've found those to be the ratios that are most conducive to weight release and metabolic restoration and healing. So sticking to those ratios is most ideal for excess weight release. So how many calories do you need to eat per day in order to make sure you're eating enough? Active women are going to require about 2,500 calories a day minimum. Active men, about 3,000 calories a day minimum, and that's enough calories in order to fuel your system. And if you're doing any kind of mental or physical activity, you're going to need to eat more, but those are just baseline minimums for any active adults. And you can base from there, after you've established a minimum, base it according to your appetite, because your appetite's going to dictate how many calories you need in order to fuel your system. But never shy from consuming a lot of fruits and starches for your calories, because those foods are going to help fuel your system, give you energy to exercise, as well as supply the fuel demands for eliminating excess weight from your body. So we talked about calorie and nutrient sufficiency. So we just talked about calorie sufficiency, now nutrient sufficiency. When we're following a diet that's high in plant-based foods, for example, fruits and vegetables, we're going to be meeting all of our nutrient requirements, and we want to make sure that we are meeting both of our calorie and nutrient requirements in order to fuel excess weight loss from our system. In order to run the weight loss cascade within our body, we need enough fuel to be present, enough water to be present, as well as enough nutrients. So if you feel like you're hitting the calories and the water, but you're not seeing the results that you desire, make sure you're hitting all of your nutrient requirements, especially B12 and vitamin D, which are nutrients that we can't get from our diet. So if your diet is very sufficient, look into those other nutrients. You can either supplement or you get vitamin D from the sun. So either get outside in the fresh air and sunshine, which you should do anyways, because it's healthy and conducive of health, or consider supplementation. So following a low sodium diet. So this is the last part of the big complex diet that allows for excess weight release from the body. The thing with sodium is that if we eat too much, we'll retain water on our body, and we're trying to eliminate excess water from the system. We need adequate hydration on our body, but we'll get that through drinking enough water and consuming a calorie and nutrient sufficient, especially a carbohydrate calorie and nutrient sufficient diet on a daily basis. In terms of sodium, you'll want to aim for under 1,000 milligrams per day of sodium, so that you're limiting the likelihood of experiencing water retention from consuming excess sodium. Consuming excess sodium also has other things that can happen within the system. You can run into kidney problems, edema, high blood pressure. So they're all situations that aren't conducive of achieving optimal health, which goes hand in hand with losing excess weight from the body. So keep your sodium low. And ways you can do that is don't add salt to your food. Read food labels and check for the sodium content. You'll want to aim for the lowest sodium possible if you are using a processed food. I don't eat processed foods in general. I get my sodium needs met through consuming fruits and vegetables, but I do like to use a gluten-free flour for making pizza crust, and I'm always buying a flour that contains 0 to about 10 milligrams of sodium per serving. So they are out there. If you need any recommendations, just leave me a comment below and I'll direct you in the right direction. Okay, so that's it for diet. My third tip, make sure you're sleeping enough. When we sleep, we essentially recharge and reboot ourselves. There's a lot that happens during sleep. We produce human growth hormone, our other hormones rebalance, our glycogen stores fill up, our body processes all the nutrients that it's taken in and starts to repair and replenish and restore our system. There's a lot of detoxification and fat loss that happens overnight. So that's seen when we wake up in the morning. We're eliminating through our urine and our stool anything that doesn't need to be in the body any longer, and a lot of that's going to be excess fat and fluid. So how much sleep do we need to be getting every night? About 8 to 12 hours, 8 being a minimum. We need to be sleeping that much in order to get the benefits, the weight loss benefits of sleep, as well as the metabolic and health benefits, which all correlate to each other. So being healthy and having a high metabolism equals excess weight loss from the body over time. So we need to make sure we're doing these daily fundamentals in order to coax the body into getting where we want it to be in terms of health and achieving an ideal lean body weight. So my last tip here, so there's only 5 tips. This is tip number 4, I'm sorry. Exercise. You need to be moving your body in order to get the weight loss benefits of following a healthy lifestyle. You can get weight loss benefits without exercising, but exercising speeds things up. So the reason why it does that is because it essentially makes the body work more efficiently than it does already drinking enough water, eating a carbohydrate, calorie, and nutrient sufficient diet, and sleeping enough. Exercise is the next layer. So when we move our body, we tone our muscles, we increase our blood circulation, we increase oxygen and nutrient uptake into our cells, we promote hormone balance and that human growth hormone release. We are also encouraging our lymphatic system to move and cleanse any waste that has accumulated within the lymphatic system, which is kind of our waste management, garbage disposal system within our body. We encourage the movement of the lymph, which allows for any kind of toxin and excess fat and fluid and protein release from the body. So how much exercise do you need to be doing? On a weekly basis, about 3 hours of moderate intensity exercise where you're getting your heart rate up and you're breaking a sweat. So that can be 6 30-minute sessions of brisk walking, jogging, cycling, dancing, playing recreational sports, anything that gets you moving and breaking a little bit of sweat and getting a little bit out of breath. Other great forms of exercise are strength or resistance training and doing yoga and Pilates and things like that. Any exercise helps to make the body function more efficiently. So developing a consistent routine of exercise is going to get you to your health and weight loss results faster. So definitely get the exercise in. And then my last tip number 5, is to just get outside. Fresh air and sunlight and being in nature, it all kind of puts all of the health pieces together because you're exposed to a more oxygenated environment. Just being outside and exercising in particular, you get more benefits from that as opposed to being in a gym because there is more oxygen available. It's usually harder to do because you have gravity and all the natural elements like wind and other things that encourage your body to have to work a little bit harder to exercise. So, and then just being in nature in general helps to de-stress. Again, we're getting a lot of oxygen in when we're out, especially in greenery. You can also incorporate nature into your home by having some house plants, which will put fresh oxygen into the air and help to recycle carbon dioxide as well. So those are my 5 top tips. Make sure you're drinking enough water, eating a carbohydrate, calorie, and nutrient sufficient, high carb, low fat, low sodium, plant-based vegan diet. So that's a huge one. Number 3, make sure you're sleeping enough. 4, make sure you're getting in the exercise. And 5, get outside in the fresh air and sunlight. So those are my top tips. Thank you so much for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more videos to come. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and have a wonderful day. Bye.